mislim sam
Može.
snima već, okay. So welcome to another Darko Live, episode 3, and joining me today is my good friend Krešimir Herceg. Hi Krešimir, thank you for joining me.
Hi Darko, hello everyone.
Now, as you can see in my announcement, Krešimir is a marketing and travel addict who loves active life and sports, founder of an innovative cycling tourism product called BIKADEMY, as you can see it in my background, and head of marketing of street art festival VukovArt. We will talk about all of that. Now, the thing how I met Krešimir for the first time was actually on the basketball court. we were playing against each other. He pretty much beat our ass. Hey, are you left-handed or right-handed? I forgot.
Left-handed.
Left-handed, that's right. Because
Yes.
I know there's a big problem when you're guarding, when you whole life guarding right-handed people,
Yeah.
and then you start playing against a left-handed guy. That's troublesome by itself. And then if you're guarding a good left-handed guy, that's even worse. I mean, I didn't guard you, but I remember we were playing. I'm like, man, this guy, like, you can't foul him, you can't stop him, and you were a great shooter. You were fast and a great shooter. So
Yeah, later. At the beginning, the shoot was the main problem, but later I practiced a bit.
But since I've played in the States, when I come back here, as you know, our league was pretty bad here.
Yeah.
And then when I played, I met you and like maybe two other people that I say, these people understand basketball. They move like basketball players. They play, let's say, like a professional level. That's why you stayed in my mind. And then years later, we started working on some projects together.
Yes.
And now here we are in this live. So thank you for that. So first things first, why did you start first, basketball or cycling?
Actually, maybe football was the first thing because
Really?
in front of our building it was a small playground. So as kids, parents will let you only they can see you from the window.
Right.
So you cannot go anywhere beside that little
Right.
playground. So we played football first, but cycling was the second one because everyone. I think I was 5 when I started to cycle first with my dad.
Right.
And I remember exactly it was blue BMX bicycle that we all had to have.
Right. Or ponies.
No, but in my neighborhood, who has a BMW that was top.
Right.
So parents bought me that bike. So I started to cycle first, and basketball came later because we had two courts, but maybe 150 meters from the apartment. So as we grew up, we moved a bit through neighborhood and further. So then the love of basketball started.
So what time did you start playing basketball? How old were you?
4th grade. So
me
it was
too.
10,
Me too.
I think. Yeah, something like that.
I started actually. My first sport was tennis, big tennis, and I trained there for like I believe a month or so. I didn't like it. Then after that, everybody were going to Taekwondo. I actually have a yellow belt. Little people, not so many people know that. Yellow belt, and then I believe I was 10 as well when we started playing basketball. Everybody's going to that. The new team was formed, and I went through all the levels. But I started at 10. At first, it was scary because I started to get taller, so they immediately put me with older guys. And then I didn't know how to play basketball. I didn't understand it. I didn't know how to move. But it was fun to be around the older guys. And then, in time, it developed.
Yeah, it was always like that,
yeah. So how did the whole idea of BIKADEMY start? And can you tell us what is it? I mean, besides the ad, what is the whole concept?
Okay, the BIKADEMY concept is an innovative concept that promotes some smaller region or city as a desirable cycling destination. So how did it all start? It started maybe 10 years ago, probably, something like that, because in 2008, I already graduated marketing in Zagreb, and I came back home. I didn't plan to get back to Slavonski Brod, but it happened, and it was some injury on basketball court. I was in Osijek at the time, so the best thing was to heal it in Slavonski Brod, because it was the best terms were here, and conditions. So I came back here and I realized, you know, this is peaceful. This is perfect city for living and something like that. And I started to think more about future at the time. So I stayed at home, and I started to move further from basketball and university. So I graduated. Okay, I will start the job, and then a couple of us were always, you know, trying to do something. We always thinking about new stuff, new possibilities, new actions, and it was bothering us that Slavonia and Baranja, for those who doesn't know what it is, it's a eastern region of Croatia, was always somewhere behind when we talk about promotion of Croatia. It was always sun and the sea, and we have a beautiful sea and beautiful coast. That's perfect. But in all materials, in promo materials, there wasn't Slavonia, and we was like, why, you know? And the other thing was weekends after basketball. The perfect relaxation was cycling around, especially when days are warmer. So we started to realize how many natural and cultural heritage there is around us that you can cycle it. You know, no need for car, no need for I don't know, some big plans, you know, for trips. And many of our friends didn't know about that. So at the time we started to realize, okay, cycling is in a big trend in Europe. We started with Europe, but in the whole world. So let's make some bike tour. So we made in 2010 we made a famous bike tour here. It was small Paris Klakar, after famous Paris Klakar. Yes, but it's a connection, because small Paris is one part of Slavonski Brod. We call it small Paris, and Klakar is a village near Slavonski Brod. So we made a connection between tradition, because you are cycling 42 kilometers was the first one, and at the aim you have some traditional Slavonian stuff or Croatian stuff. For example, meat, special cheese, special bread, and with the tamburica, you know, the tradition. Yes. And people liked it a lot. So after 2 or 3 years, you know, people were coming from Zagreb, from Osijek, from all around the region, and we had 350 and 60 participants last couple of years. So at the time we started to think about that approach, you know, how to promote our region, how to show people, especially from Zagreb, because I was in Zagreb for 7 or 8 years, and I always talked them about Slavonia, and they said, oh, it's a flat, you know, it's over. I said, no, it's not flat. We have hills. We don't have mountains, okay? Flat. But yeah, but you know, because they were passing by through the highway, and all they see, you know, it's a one direction, and that's it. So we started to think about. I started to think about BIKADEMY, and in 2014 I already had concept. So it was one tender of Ministry of Tourism. And I, in 2010, I made an NGO just to work with all those ideas, you know, cultural and promotion and tourism promotion. So in 2014, we started to plan and make BIKADEMY. So it was first primitive one. We only have a website, and the people were applying the pictures or selfies with the bike on the exact locations via mail, you know. And after that it grew more and more. Now we have an application, so we have automatization, you know, of the passing exam, and it's more familiar to people, especially the younger ones. The concept is made, you know, we made Slavonia and Baranja has 5 counties, so we made 5 studies. Osijek, Baranja, Vukovar, Srijem, Brod, Posavina, Požega, and something like that. So we had 5 counties, and those are studies that are that have, you know, each study has, for example, 7 or 8 exams. Exams are all spots, natural and cultural heritage. So you are registered, you know, on the app, or before that via mail. So you have a virtual index. An index is like it doesn't exist in English language. Like in Croatian or in Balkan, but it's some book of grades, you know, that you passed exams.
Right.
So you have studies, and locations are exams, and your task is to go from exam to exam, take a selfie on that spot, and when you go to that exact location, for example, Vukovar is Elts manor. So when you go to the Elts manor, take a selfie with a bike, you pass the exam. When you pass all exams, you get a reward, and reward is our sponsor, Giant Croatia. It's like shirts, some stuff for bicycle, for cycling trip, and that's it. This year we grew up. We opened Zagreb, first two cities, Zagreb and Berlin.
Nice.
And we have like this, you know, BIKADEMY, like
nice.
Brandenburg Gate with a bicycle, and that's a, you know, symbolic reward for each bike.
Nice. So how many people is involved in the BIKADEMY? How many people work on it?
From the beginnings, over 650. But now we have really big plans, you know, for the spring, and I hope it will be several thousand next year.
Nice. So how do you guys promote your app and the whole BIKADEMY? So you have a Facebook page. Do you check that out? Whoever's watching. Yeah.
Yes, we have an Instagram profile. We have a Twitter account. We have TikTok account, but TikTok, yes, it's testing, you know, all the time, because first of all, we started with Facebook because it was most familiar with all other guys here. Later occurred a Snapchat or something, but in Balkan it didn't
catch on. Right.
Yes. So Facebook and Instagram were the main channels. When we find, because it's all financed by us, you know. Right. So because of that, we are, according to our finances, Facebook and Instagram maybe are the most cheapest ones, especially when you put them in accordance with Google Ads. But we are doing also Google Ads, Twitter. Now this year, this couple of months, we are testing Twitter in Berlin, in Zagreb, in Latvia, for example, or some other countries, and the results are pretty good. So we will see.
Why do you think? Let's just get back to Twitter for a second. Why do you think that Twitter never made it? I didn't see it that it made such big impact in Europe. I mean, I had it at the beginning. As soon as it was open, I was still in the States. I had it. I think I still have a profile. I don't even know my password, but I used it for like 2 months, and I personally didn't see benefit of it. And in Croatia, it's not that big like at all. In Europe, as far as I know.
I don't know why, but I can speak maybe from the point of view of Croatia, as I saw the big IT community, especially in Zagreb, Varaždin, use it a lot. But in this part, I don't know, nobody.
Right. It's just like I never saw in any marketing agency. I never saw people usually say, you know, we're going to do your Facebook, we're going to do your website, we're going to do, you know, even right now, TikTok, even Snapchat campaigns. But I never saw that somebody said, we're going to do a big Twitter promotion for you. Like, if you have to hire.
I really don't know. But if you, Netokracija, for example, there are many people who writes or occurs in Netokracija's articles. They are using Twitter. And they're using Twitter a lot. But I don't know, we are in tourism. For example, we made some marketing promotions at the sea for restaurants, hotels, or something like that. Twitter was not an option.
Nobody even asked about it. Nobody even asked.
Nobody.
Right.
You know, we asked, what about Twitter? No. Who knows Twitter? You know.
So when it comes to what I want to say, everybody who is enjoying cycling, if you plan to come to Croatia, download the app, go through exams, and you're going to love it. Believe me, there's a big community online already, and it's going to be bigger. As far as I know, Kreš is going to be way bigger. So you do a lot of events, and that is something you are pretty much known in this area. So how did you manage to start VukovArt, and how would you describe VukovArt as a project?
It was like one funny story, you know. A friend of mine, a big friend of mine, Filip Mrvelj, who is the only one Croatian 3D street artist. He's from Slavonski Brod. We worked a couple of times on the same projects, and I called him on my projects, and the other way also when he did something
Right.
and he needed some campaign, he called me. And one day he called me in 2016 and said, you know, do you have something to do in next 2 weeks? I said, yeah, I have some jobs to finish, but it's not, you know, rush. And he said, I got a call from VukovArt and to paint the first 3D painting in Vukovar. And I said, why not? I will go with him, make some promotions, do some short movies.
Right.
And we came there. So I started to help him also with because I already knew how the approach of the making and creating a 3D painting. So we are working together, you know, we are friends, we are joking and everything.
Right,
and
right.
it started raining, you know. And I think 3 days it was heavy rain. And we were like in the hotel, and he said, you know, if tomorrow will be rain, nothing from the painting. And tomorrow morning, all clear at 5. I think it was 5 o'clock a.m. So 5 in the morning, we are at the hotel. It doesn't rain. The sun is going up, so we are happy. Okay, what can we do with it? That because 3 days later he had to go to Berlin back, and I said okay. And he worked a lot, much more than me, but I helped him also with the painting and everything. And that painting was like boom, because first maybe those 2 weeks or 10 days before, he always talks how he is an astronaut and he is obsessed with space, now SpaceX and NASA and everything. So yes, so we made a campaign that he is an astronaut who is going to planet Vukovar, and we made some visuals and make promotion and everything. So and especially Vukovar is for Croatians something special, some symbol of heroism, you know. And after that, we were dead, you know, out of work. And all media, I sent also newsletters. I also made campaign. And in maybe 3 next days, it was boom in Croatian media.
It was.
So yes, and then those days while it was raining, we spoke about some our ideas with the city, and you know they listened to us, you know, about some festival, but in our own terms of the main criteria will be the top level, you know, of artists.
So you're talking about the painting on the bridge, that one. Was that the first one? Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, they did the painting. He was the assistant artist. Krešimir was the assistant. They did a painting of a woman going over a bridge, and the bridge is broken. So when you say, I don't know if you were familiar with the 3D paintings, but when you stand on a certain point, and you have to stand in a certain position, and then you can see the painting in 3D. It's
in 3D, but you have to have lens, you know. You have to have camera, mobile phone, something like that.
Right.
So photo camera. And after that, it was boom in media, and they called us from the city maybe 3 or 4 days later. You know, so you know you talked about the festival. Can you come to Vukovar? I said, Philip, I would like to go come with Philip. So he's coming back, I don't know, in a month. So can we postpone it in a month? Yeah, of course. So we went there, and it was like easy conversation with the mayor. You know, we want to do that. This is the plan. These are the costs. I think the VukovArt did this, and he said easily, yeah, of course, it will be the top level in the world. Yeah, and that's how we started.
Did you try to do the same thing in Slavonski Brod or some other place, or just Vukovar? Does VukovArt has an exclusive for it, or is that something?
No, VukovArt will always be in Vukovar, you know. But similar festivals, we talked about it, but as part of VukovArt last year, I think it was some talking between 2 cities, Knin and Vukovar. But I think they didn't agree. I don't know why. I don't know details. But this kind of stuff we plan to do in our city, as we made several festivals, like for example Days of Ivana Brlić-Mažuranić. Ivana Brlić-Mažuranić is the most translated writer for children in Croatia. Yeah, and you know, most of her work she did in Slavonski Brod. She wasn't born here, but most of her work she did here. we made festivals, but in Slavonski Brod they didn't realize how much important it is to invest in such things, because as our friend Goran Rihel from Croatian Tourism said, we don't have to make up stories. We already have stories. So Slavonski Brod is full of such stories, but they didn't, because I made also several European projects, bigger projects, and they never been interested in some cooperation. So we talked about a bit.
They will.
You know, but there wasn't any connection after that, and that was it.
This all the murals, is that how you call them, murals or paintings, or 3D paintings and murals?
3D paintings are one thing, and in Vukovar we only have one vertical, one of Juan Resvera, which is on, and the other maybe from VD from Indonesia, but all 3D paintings are on the horizontal surfaces, and all the other 2Ds are murals. So every on the wall is called mural.
I mean, this year the paintings that did their thing. I mean, if you're driving to the city of Vukovar and you see, you just see the regular building, red color, white color, whatever, and then you see this mural that they did, these paintings. I mean, I saw things like that before, and I know that you will bring the top level artists, but people who don't understand the murals or they understand the 3D, and you said I'm gonna bring top 3D artists. You think what are they gonna do? Like some guys that just paint something on the some guy just gonna paint something on the building, and then when you see what they did, I mean, you can just admire it. My favorite right now, I already told you that the guy that made the paintings on the memorial center about his daughter and 86.
Eugen Varzic, he's a famous Croatian artist.
That is really just something amazing.
That guy is so cool. It's really, really cool guy.
I mean, it's great when I see you guys. You guys are pretty much, give or take, all the same age. So you understand you understand everything that needs to be promoted. You understand promotion. You understand marketing, and they are, with all that, they are still great artists. And just it's just great thing to have for a city. So I'm really stunned that Zagreb doesn't have it, or some other Croatian cities.
Zagreb has it, but in a smaller scale. Sisak has it also, the similar story, and the guys from Opus and also Zen Opus has really, really cool stuff. But when we started it, we agreed that we will not make open calls. Why? Because we were trying to bring the best. And since Philip was the 3D street artist, only the first year was thematically, but not to tell the artist you have to paint something like this. Right. But just 3D. We wanted to make that first year 3D, and we made it. And that first year in 2017, it was the top names in the world in Vukovar, and it was boom. After that, because you don't have so much 3D artists in the world, we said, okay, the murals are in, because Berlin, I don't know, you have Lodz in Poland, Temishwar, big cities. London has tourist guides for just touring around the city where the murals are, and it's a pretty good thing. We also thought that for Vukovar, who has really, really big cultural heritage and the war tourism, you made the perfect stuff. I was for the first time this year in front of Eugen Varzic's painting in that plane.
You see the airplane, okay.
yeah, we were there, and we were bringing the artists also there. So we it's like additional thing that can really has added value for the cultural tourism offer of Vukovar.
Right. So do you have a favorite painting or 3D that they did?
No, because when you are involved in all of this, they are like your children. I don't know but if I can say that first painting of Philip, because of that painting, first of all, I worked a bit on the previous surface, you know, but that painting maybe is because it all started with that painting.
Right. So what do you think? What do you think is the biggest thing that you do in your marketing plan that when you promote your events, do you think that has the biggest impact? Is it the interviews that you do, the Facebook Live, the press, the artist by himself, you know, since they're world famous, they're following? What do you think it gives you like the best reach?
When we talk about BIKADEMY or VukovArt?
Well, you can say about both. One or.
First of all, I think since we start and made it from the scratch, it was very important to bring a good product or service out. So when we finalized that, and we are working on that stuff from year to year, from month to month, Facebook and Instagram, for example, for VukovArt, brought really good views for the people all around the world who are following street art.
Right.
After that, for me, when we talk about VukovArt, the best promoters are the artists themselves.
Right.
Because we really try to give them something that they never experienced on other festivals. Because really, it was a bit different from other festivals. First of all, we have much. We have more finances from other festivals. Right. So it's really then good stuff. So we can really and we are trying to give them the best, you know, to give them all they need and even more. So they are very satisfied and they are how to say it, surprised because they didn't expect it maybe from Croatia or Balkan.
Right.
You know, they heard I was in Balkan or somewhere. It was so. It was, but here from the material they need, equipment, everything from that professional side to that leisure side. You know, guys, do you want to see the museums? Do you want to see Vukovar? We will show you some traditional music and food and something like that. So they are really and now they became already our best promoters because, for example, Oko from Croatia, she's perfect and famous modern artist, and she said, you know, I was skeptical a bit, but when Lonac, who was here a year before, said, you know, guys are really trying to do their best, she said, okay, I will go there. So when she went there, she was like, you know, like perfect cooperation with her and really nice girl.
Usually people, go on.
So after that, we also had brand ambassadors, and also in BIKADEMY and VukovArt, and we are trying to, you know, when we speak about influencers today, but that's only my opinion, you know, you so-called influencers on Instagram, you know,
so-called,
showing bodies and males and females or something like that. But we really try to pick ambassadors who are whose values are similar like ours. So we have, for example, Robert Kňaz, Ribafish, Domagoj Jakopovic, Ribafish is for board, and those ambassadors really helped us out to in media and in promotion.
Well, the first time, remember, you were with the artist, you were in the museum, and then I saw, like, I knew that Facebook Live was a new feature of Facebook, and I tried to do in my Facebook or in my marketing activities, I try to tell people, you know, we need to get on Facebook Live, but people didn't seem to understand it. Then you were the first one. You said, I'm going to have an interview with one of the guys. I don't remember who it was.
No, we had interviews for all of them, but we scheduled.
But that was the first time that I actually saw that was you doing interview on Facebook Live with somebody who's involved in the project. And I said, finally, somebody that gets it. And not just you, this is the thing. I was involved with, you know, that in many projects, and I was working here for this local basketball team. And I told to the guys, so the basketball players, I said, listen, not that I can make you famous, but I can make you more visible. And you have to be the ambassadors of the team. You have to do Facebook Live. You have to do photo shoot. I said, you know, we have Photoshop. I can make you superheroes, everybody. And then everybody wants to be seen but don't nobody want to start, start in front of the camera and say something. I said, you guys are tall, are handsome, are professionals. You just need to each, you have 30, 40, 50 games a year. Every week, somebody should just say, come visit, come see us play.
Yes.
That's what, and nobody wanted it.
That's it.
And to me, that was a surprise. So when I saw you do it, I know, okay, these guys are doing it on a professional level. And I know you had a problem with t-shirts, with the hats and everything, but you guys managed it. And I'm really happy for you and for the whole team, because I know that it's really, really hard. Me coming from XR technologies, virtual augmented reality, I know how hard it is to present somebody something new and that they accepted it. Even right now, to be honest, even right now, the projects that we did, and they are, to me, are worldwide projects. They're just like your VukovArt and BIKADEMY. But I really hoped that people will, the people who we did projects with, I really hope that they understand the benefits that they received, and that they will expand the idea more. To be honest, I thought they would understand it more. Right now, you see the airplane, you saw it. It's a worldwide. Everybody, we have the info that more than 60,000 people saw that in this last 2 years, and everybody was amazed. And we have like 3 or 4 newsfeed coverage, because there's just so much you can do by yourself. People need to get involved. Why I'm trying to say that, with you being professional and knowing all these marketing tactics, you transfer your idea, your vision to your artist, and then they were okay. Yeah, I want to do live. I see it's working. I want to do Facebook Live. I want to do interviews. They want to do whatever. So it's a great thing for City of Vukovar, a great thing for promotion of culture and all kinds of things.
But we really how to say it. It was easier for us because it was our project. So no one from above, told us what to do.
Right,
so
that's true.
We are making, for example, at the end of each project, we are putting on documents about everything, about the visual, the arts, the artists, the promotion numbers and everything. But no one, and with BIKADEMY, it's my project, so it's no one, from above. You don't have to ask somebody. Yeah, you have to do testings. And that's the main part, because when we started with, several people asked me when I announced first, okay, but how will you speak with the guys from, I don't know, Argentina? I said, I don't know in English, but if he doesn't know, we will manage something, we will find a translator. And it was, and it worked really, really good this year, and maybe the last year, but this year, the artists were much more cooperative with the social media. So they shared everything and it was a perfect stuff. And I think it will be even bigger, and even better.
Nice. So what do you think? What do you think the future of marketing will be like? Not just even when it comes to events, so even when it comes to promotion of all the new things that you're seeing, that you're involved with. What do you think people are looking for the most?
I think that as I told you earlier, my opinion that the exact form and exact project or idea has to be on high level. You have to make some mistakes. It's normal, but if customer sees that you are trying to do your best in those circumstances that you are in, I think that they will. That's the first stage, quality. After that, promotion or marketing. So this is the part of marketing. Product is part of marketing, and maybe the main part. So or service, but. We are now experiencing something new with this Corona situation. So also people thought, people will not, for example, concert. I saw that yesterday, or who was some famous singer put the album, or I don't know, online, and people are watching and paying for that. So it's something new, but the concept is the same. You have to have product who is really
product,
has
right.
quality. Yes, and you have to try your best. But also, I think it will go in new technologies. For example, AR, augmented reality, VR. Also, it will be much more easier to maybe to sell stuff or to show something new, some new ideas, some new products. And I think it will be in match with technology as technology rises.
Right. So, what are some things you're working on now, if you can say?
We are working now on some tourism videos that we made. It's like part of the regular marketing job. Also, we are preparing VukovArt, and I'm now all in BIKADEMY because my plan is to expand it on the whole Europe. So now we are in talkings with some regions, with some tourist boards, with influenced people in other countries. So I think this is the best time, maybe before the March next year, to expand on some new destinations.
Right.
So you always have something to do.
Right. So before we go into some let's say personal questions, so people can know you better. How can people reach you? Where they can find you? BIKADEMY.
They can find me on BIKADEMY, VukovArt. My number is I think on all of these channels, and they can call me. They can reach me via email, Instagram, Facebook. No
also,
problem.
I want to say that I listened to Krešo several times as a keynote speaker on one of these events for cultural tourism or marketing or education. So if you need him for some of that, you know, his presentations are very dynamic, and you learn a lot from it. I know I did. So that's
Thanks.
something
and
to look
I
forward.
learned much more from Darko also.
So 8 questions and eight. That's why I like to call this part. So just so people can get to know you better. First things first, Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan? Or
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Would you say Kobe or Michael? Or would you say Kobe or Jordan? Or would you say LeBron or Jordan? Or somebody next to
I
Jordan?
would say, in my opinion, Michael is the first one because of the competitiveness and everything that he did. He changed basketball. He put basketball on world's map. And the NBA, I think, at that time, end of the 80s and 90s, was the most beautiful basketball for me. Kobe, for me, is the second one because, I don't know, because of the work ethic and all he did. He was like some copy of Michael Jordan, and he said that he was his admirer. Yeah, and but for me, LeBron, I really appreciate that guy because of the working ethic. In those ages, he does really amazing stuff.
Right.
But for me, maybe the third one would be maybe Kevin Durant, because he's the most complete guy in NBA last 20 years.
It was one funny NBA interview when they asked people describe a perfect basketball player, and then people are like, he has to be tall, he has to be fast. It would be good if he can shoot. And then people were saying that, and then at the end they all said, you just described Kevin Durant, and everybody was like,
Kevin Durant,
yeah, we did. So, but one interesting thing about Michael Jordan, one interview that I saw, and he really, how would I say, made a big plus in my eyes. They asked him, so how do you feel about consider yourself being the GOAT? GOAT being greatest of all time. And he said, I do not consider myself to be a GOAT. He said, he said, this is his words. He said, how do you determine GOAT? Is it by points? Is it by rings? He said, I have 6 rings. Oscar Robertson has 13. I'm nothing compared to this guy. It was really interesting for him to look at. He said, and one other thing he said, is great because he's, he rises in my eyes because of that. He said, I might be the best in playing basketball because there's something I choose to do. He said, I don't know how to cook. Like, I'm impressed with people cooking. This is just one part of life that I'm really good at it, and I work hard. People usually, somebody scores 50 points, I'm the GOAT, I'm the greatest of all time, whatever. And then when the GOAT actually says that, you know, puts things in perspective to see how humble it is. Do you remember, let me ask you this, do you remember the most points you had in a game?
I think 44.
44, nice.
Yeah, I think as I remember.
Was that in
No, it was the second division. In senior level, the second division against Đakovo, I think it was the 44. Earlier, I really can't remember.
For me, in the senior level, I believe it was 33. But in when I was a junior, not in a college, but in a high school, I actually scored 64 out of our 68 points. It was some kind of exhibition games. I got some team from Italy, and just everything went in. I mean, if I would have kicked it for my leg, it would have went in. It was amazing feeling. Didn't happen after that. So answer me this. This is the question I like to ask. What is the worst advice you heard?
It's a really tough question, but
right.
I think the worst advice, but in a good way, and the idea was in right direction. But you know, don't risk, don't like in this area. Don't risk, you know, don't fail. I think that's the worst advice, because you have to fail. You have to risk something, not everything, you know, not gambling. I'm not talking about that, but you have to risk some stuffs to go on higher level. So maybe that was the worst advice.
Nice. It's a good worst advice.
Yeah.
So what was the last movie you watched?
The last movie I watched, Ferrari, Ford versus Ferrari, but for the third time. I already watched it earlier. The new one I really cannot remember, because I'm a couple of last years I'm in TV series.
Oh, so what was the last series you watched?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Now but I'm in TV shows because they are shorter. I don't know, the focus is I'm losing focus maybe if the film is and movie, because I really adore movies. As a child, I really watched everything, and later, but now as ages pass, you know, you appreciate your time.
More. That's true.
I think more, and I really don't want to see anything. So I'm now scheduled Tenet from Nolan. That's the movie, so I will see, because the opinions are divided about that movie. And for example, TV series Taboo of Tom Hardy was perfect for me, and I'm waiting the season 2, but I'm waiting 2 years for
right. I actually just finished. I need to see both. I'm the first one that you mentioned, and Taboo. Right now, I'm actually, yesterday I finished the series The Boys. Did you watch that? The Boys.
I watched that. Yeah.
Well, to me, it was fun.
It's a good TV series, but I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay. So it's a good one. Yeah. So I didn't know it's going to be the next part. There's 2 seasons so far. But yeah, it's really interesting, you know, movies were, you know, hour and a half in 2 movies. Then the series was an hour, then 45 minutes, then 30 minutes. Yeah. Now there's more like 20 minutes. But when you think about it, I also enjoy it, you know, if you have some free time, and you just put in, you know, something that's 20 minutes long. That's really good time filler, especially if it's some kind of comedy or something that I like to watch. So let me ask you this. What was the longest cycling trip you took?
It's easy question. The longest one was from our city, Slavonski Brod, to Toulon in France. So it's 1,500 kilometers, but we cycled 1,000 kilometers. So we made a movie about that, Bike Adventures of Hlapić and Lima. Philip, the artist, a friend of mine, and I were cycling and making a documentary. It's a funny documentary, so you can watch it on YouTube.
Nice. Is that under your YouTube or BIKADEMY or?
No, it's I think NGO Lima. It's YouTube channel of NGO Lima. So, but you can just write it Bike Adventures Hlapić, and that's it. We had 2 movies. Yeah, so you can watch the first one.
Nice. Okay. So you said you were a girls basketball coach. Is that it?
Not coach. I was the president. of women basketball coach in first division for 1 year, but I also worked with, because a friend of mine, Dražen Rimarčuk, for me, maybe the best development coach in Eastern Croatia.
Nice.
Yeah, he really does a great job in basketball here. And sometimes I was also in the gym, I think 3 days ago before this lockdown. So we worked, and sometimes if I had time, I worked with them also individually. But last 1 or 2 years, it was really rare.
So did you practice basketball? Is that it? Is that
yes,
very
yes.
rare? No?
Yeah. No. Because of the job, because of the obligations, I really didn't have so much time. But at the time when I was a president, we worked individually 2 or 3 times per week afternoon. Because we at the time we had the first division scorer with only 17 years, Mihaela Lazic, who is now in USA, and I think she has a bright career in front of her.
Nice. Well, hopefully, yeah. So, who would you say had the most influence on you in terms of life or business, or the most influence on you?
First, parents, because they were not entrepreneurs, but they taught me of values. I think the most important thing, the real values of life. To respect others, to work hard, to learn, to grow in that ways. So first of all them, and the other, I think I really like to read much and about some successful people, for example, biographies or something like that. So we can.
What's the last one you read?
The last one, I think it was about Musk.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, I don't know what's the name of the book. I have it on the shelf. But for me, for example, people, I followed Jürgen Klopp, the football coach, when he was in Mainz, and he was really different kind of guy. So I read also his biography, and it's really nice. For example, Maradona biography, I Diego, it's autobiography. It's perfect, to see. So there are many people who influenced me on some lower levels, but I think from parents it started all.
Yeah, that's true. Like this is a funny thing. Like my parents were also not the entrepreneurs, but when I see everything that they made in their life, when it comes, they were our age when we had to move because of the war. We left Vukovar with, I don't know, like 2,000 marks. That's like 1,000 euros maybe. And right now to have everything that they have without any kind of, without internet, first of all, without any kind of special education that you can find right now online, you can benefit from it a lot. And for everything that they did with the hard work, just by doing the hard work. And I think that my mom especially, she had something entrepreneurial spirit in her, that she knew how to recognize opportunities where maybe some other people don't, and then manage to make some money out of it. So that's also
When I quit job, I was working. When I came back to abroad, and several friends of mine were asking later, now even, how your parents reacted. I was at their place at the time, and one day I just came home and I said, I quit job. And someone would say, what? Especially here, you hardly found job. But my parents were like, this was the only question. Are you sure what you are doing? I said, yeah. And they said, you have all our support, but please be smart.
Right.
And I said, yeah, okay. And that was the reaction.
This is when it comes to parents. Like, this is actually kind of a funny story. I talked to my mom. I think that my mom and my dad still don't believe that I actually were in the States for 5 years. That right now I'm a co-owner of the Cool Studio. That we have 7 people employee. That I'm doing, that I'm doing virtual augmented reality or holograms. I think that my mom would still be the happiest woman if I worked at the local store. Even when I was in the States and I said, Mom, I'm graduating in international business and marketing. I have some goals. I came back with a graduation that I hopefully is worth something. And then she told me, I can ask you, because, here in Croatia, how buildings have on the bottom, they have either a bar or a store. She said, I can ask, I don't know what was the owner, Ivan, whatever. He said, I can ask Ivan if he wants to hire you here. I said, as a cashier? Like, Mom, I have bigger goals. And I think that she is still disappointed that I didn't took that safe job, just be, below the building.
I cannot say that, especially mom is always worried, I think it's in their nature, So I think that also at the beginning, you are frustrated with things, how are functioning here, or you are struggling with some new jobs, new positions, how to enter the new market. So sometimes they saw me, I'm not nervous on outside, but they really know me. So when I'm a bit quieter, they know something's happening.
Right.
So
right.
sometimes, yeah, she just asked, wouldn't be better, like in your case, to work from 8 to 4 and just go easy. I said, yeah, maybe it would be easier now, but I know also I have some goals too. And
it's just interesting when it comes to this being entrepreneur. For me, it meant pretty much right now. I actually did one of my blogs. When you finish college or when you finish high school, whatever, to have some kind of certain skills, it's like you find keys on the ground. You have several keys, 5, 10 keys, whatever. If you took those keys and you don't know which lock they are locked, did you really find something? Basically you have all these keys. I'm good at marketing, I'm good at basketball, I'm good at whatever, but what you're gonna do with it? And then when you become entrepreneur, your mind, just at least mine, I know yours too, just started shifting, just start thinking in all these various ways. Right now, I'm trying to do, just like we mentioned before, the most I can out of my time. Like, I hate right now losing time. Okay, I watched the series because I did everything in my day. Now it's time for rest. So then I took, an hour. And before that, I was preparing for this interview. I already wrote one blog. I already did my schedule for the entire week. Call a few people, make some few phone calls. Right now, I really think that, you can earn money, you can give back money, but you cannot, give back time. And, time is, to me, is of the essence. I really have to start, I really hate wasting time. So when I, go ahead.
Just also, I had a great opportunity, to meet several great people here that were similar-minded. So, for example, Teen, you met Teen. Teen and I work maybe 90% of our business together, and he's the most positive and most active people that I know. Then Philip, that I work with VukovArt, Beco with filming, and Boris with making app. The similar-minded people that you are working with all the time. And when we go to coffee, for example, several friends of mine didn't. Oh, you are going in the morning, I don't know, at 10 a.m. at the coffee. I said, you want to go with Boris for coffee to see what we will talk about, but not planned, it's always like that. So he said, yeah, I will go. And then he went with us, and we talked about ideas, how to implement something in BIKADEMY, what to do with VukovArt, what to do with other projects we are working on. And that guy told me later, I don't want to go to coffee with you. Don't talk about football. I said, yeah, we talk about football or sports sometimes, but or some leisure things. But mostly those guys around me that we are working on together on some projects, they are similar-minded people who, like you, also at night, sometimes the phone rings at 10 p.m. Hey, I have an idea what to do this, to do that in this way, and maybe to cut this off, to put something new. And
it's the same thing with me and Mario. Mario was in my last. You watched the last episode.
I watched that.
Mario is just. We talk daily for. I believe, I'm not even kidding. We talk daily for probably like 6 hours, at least 6 hours, about everything. We have 7 people working for us. So you have that. then you have projects, then we have ideas. Okay, we did this part, maybe we should do this part right now. Maybe we should recommend this. Maybe we should talk to this guy and this guy. Maybe you know, I said, you know, I want you to be in this Darko Live. I want you to do that. And we're just talking about other things. And then when my mom listened to me, she's like, who is this business guy talking to? You're always on the phone. I said, well, that's Marty. She's like, you guys talk like that? I said,
yeah.
That's the only thing that you know. But when your mind shifted just like that, just like you said, when you start to become an entrepreneur, you just, when you get into that mindset, you just see opportunities everywhere. It's just amazing. Right now, we will talk. But right now, even when I talk to you, already have like 5 ideas that we should talk after this. It's just crazy. But I love to be surrounded with people like you. You know, I love that I met. We don't hang out as much as I wanted because we don't live that close. But you know, every time you're in Vukovar, we see each other. I love talking to you. I love talking to Richel. I love talking to Jesenka. All these people that we know together, they are doing some big, nice things. You know, I really like what you guys made from Vukovar as a city that I'm born in, put it on a map in that way, and how the whole culture of you know, 3D paintings and painting murals and more people are coming to Croatia because of it in Vukovar. And now with the Bike Academy, I know it's really nice to see people just like you that made their passion, they're making a living out of it, you know. So that's even just like you with, you know, okay, basketball is a hobby for both of us now. And then you know, Bike Academy and Vukovar, just the same thing with me and Kulex. You know, it's right now it's my passion. I don't consider it as a work. So it's for me and for Mario. For me and for Mario, it's not a problem to work 10, 12, 14 hours a day, because that's something we enjoy do. You know, I enjoy exchanging information with people. I love talking to smarter people than me. So and you know, with this internet thing, I realized how I was using YouTube wrong for my like 5 years. I was watching. I was using YouTube to watch music videos, asses, you know, dunks or whatever. But right now, if you go, if you go to my history of my YouTube, it will be, you know, how to promote your business, how to be better at storytelling, new marketing trends, you know, how to influence people, whatever. All this is just it's a great tool. And I still say, because in this age of information, free information, if you are not, how would I say, if you are not educated enough, to me, it's just a matter of personal choice, because everything is online. Like I agree. Yeah, like I put in my last post on my website, I said, right now, if you type in YouTube how to make atomic bomb, it will take you.
You have it.
You probably have it. I didn't check it out, but I'm sure. Yeah, this is the 10 pieces that you have to do step by step how to destroy the world. So let me ask you one last question. How did you like this interview on a scale from 1 to Jordan?
It's a really tough one. 22.
22. So it will be Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant level.
No, it will be 22. If Michael Jordan is 23, this interview will be 22. And not because that we talk about Michael Jordan.
Right. So thank you for this. Thanking you for your time. As we mentioned, it's really important. Thank you for your time, and thank for everybody for watching this episode 3. And just like I said, Krešimir Herceg, if you need anything when it comes to event management, check out VukovArt.com. Is it .com or HR?
Yes, .com.
VukovArt.com, BIKADEMY.com. And if you are a cycling aficionado, if you thinking to come to Croatia, this you know, anywhere, download the app, go through all the exams, and I'm sure you have a great time. Croatia, thank you for this, and I'll see you soon in Vukovar. Hopefully, we're going to chat some more about some interesting things.
Thank you for inviting me here, and I'm watching the podcasts, and I think it's really great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Evo sad sam. Čekaj.